Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Shining from Within, the podcast where we explore the infinite amount of power and potential that lies within each and every one of us. I am your host with the most, Genevieve, and today's episode is going to be really short. It's basically a reflection on the works of Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read it a while ago, I think a couple of years ago, and I recently read it again, and I just wanted to highlight a couple of things that stood out to me that I feel are pertinent and would definitely help not only me, might also help you in your financial intelligence or your financial independence or road to independence journey. So the title of this episode is Financial Intelligence. So there are 6 words that I want you to highlight. If you've got a pen and a notepad, you can just write these down. So income, expense, assets, liability, cash flow. So financial intelligence is the ability to control cash flow. And then I want to highlight the main thing. What drives cash flow? So the main thing, according to my understanding of the book, the main thing that drives cash flow are assets and liabilities. What are assets and liabilities? So assets, these are anything that put money in our pockets. Okay, so an asset is anything that puts money in our pocket, and then a liability is anything that takes money out of our pockets. So we can give examples of assets. So for instance, you buy a house and rent it out. Not stay in it. You buy a house and you rent it out, and the rentals that you receive every month put money in your pockets. Then we can call that an asset. We can also give an example of a car. Say you buy a car and this is for personal use. What this car is a liability because it takes money out of your pocket. You have to spend on gas. You have to spend on servicing. So it's taking money out. Not to say a car in its entirety is a liability. Depending on how you use it, determines how you use it determines whether it's an asset or a liability. So say for instance, you own a car and you put it on a car rank, and people are booking it, and at the end of the day you have money in your pocket. It brings money in your pocket. That's an asset. So those are a bit on that scale. We can look at it from basics. Maybe let's say you've got a side hustle, you do people's makeup on the side or full time. What that craft is an asset because it's able to put money in your pocket. So from these basics, you're able to distinguish what an asset and a liability is. So I'll just highlight that again. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket, and a liability is anything that takes money out. I think maybe just a side note. People can be either assets or liabilities, depending on their impact on your life. So I think it's also crucial for you to evaluate the people that you have in your life. So now, coming back to cash flow, what we're striving to do, or what each and every one of us need to strive to do, is to work towards our money that is coming in our pockets, the asset money, self-generating, where you have a lot of assets. So what I am advocating for, based on the teachings that I learned from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is we have to collect or intentionally obtain assets so that the money that they put in our pockets can work towards generating more money, so that we are no longer part of the rat race where we are like always working for money. It's like, oh, I have to work for money. So with every little thing that you have, you can start from whatever level it is. Evaluate, self-evaluate. Is this an asset? Is it a liability? Strive to get more assets. Even in choosing people, is this person an asset? Is this person a liability? I think it's very crucial at this point in our lives to choose wisely, but especially on the financial part, because I know everybody wants to tap into that financial freedom, that generational wealth, and it starts with these basics. So wherever you are, wherever you're listening to me from, strive to collect more assets than liabilities. This was the short message I wanted to share based on the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you haven't read it, I urge you to read this book. It will definitely change your perspective on financial intelligence. And another book I would like to encourage you to read is The Richest Man from Babylon, or is it The Richest Man in Babylon? It's a very amazing book where you see the 7 principles of gold. Yeah, where there are a lot of principles that are very good. I think I will talk about it in one of these other episodes. But for today, I really wanted to emphasize the few points that I have. Thank you for tuning in.